Hey everybody in building construction. This is a video to do three things. One, show you how to bookmark PDFs. Two, show you how to package Illustrator files so that somebody can open them and have access to all the linked images and fonts, etc. And three, just give you a brief example of what you might do for layouts for the final portfolio. All right, so let's see. First, sorry, let's go to this. So here is a set of drawings that John Nastasi and Alex brought in, or it was for the project that they showed us this semester. And if I could, so I'm in. You need to do this in the Adobe PDF, Adobe Pro, or whatever it is, the version you have from NYIT. It has to be the desktop app, not the web app. And if you open that up, if it's this version, it'll look like this. If not, it'll look like something else. But you need to find these bookmark or comment or thumbnail icons. And so you'll notice if I go to this thumbnail icon, each of these pages is a link, but it's just a thumbnail, so I really can't tell what's going on. What I'm going to, which page I'm going to. So it makes it difficult to go through a long set of plans, or even just a 10-page set of plans. And if I go to the bookmark tab, which is this one, there's nothing here. So this PDF set, which I've shown you guys before, I usually use this one just because students made this to kind of show you that it's, students can do this stuff pretty well. But so they have, here's the thumbnails again, thumbnail. But if we go to the bookmarks tab, we have this really nice table of contents set of bookmarks. So I can go to the architecture section, I can open it up and drop it down, and go to the roof plan. If I want to go to the building sections, it's really easy to find it. I want you to do something like this for your final portfolio. Of course, you're not going to have that many sheets, so it will not be this complicated. You can make up whatever. You could just name them. It could be whatever makes sense in terms of an organizational structure to you. Now, by the way, that may irritate you guys that I don't tell you exactly what to do, but tough luck, because you're in a design program. You're supposed to be designers. The secret, or the most basic component of design, is you designing yourself what you think should be communicated and then communicating it. So I don't like giving you rote answers or things. I don't think it really helps you very much. That's my approach. Anyway, let me show you how to bookmark. So if I go back to this set of plans, I'm going to go to the first page. And by the way, here's an even better example. Here's a set of plans that a friend of mine who came into my environmental systems class showed us, or it was a project that they showed us that he had been doing. Is this recording now? Yeah. Sorry, he showed us one of his projects, and we see over here it's 194 pages. So if we go to this, it's just really useless, because it's 194 pages. There's like 15 or 20 pages of plumbing, of HVAC ducting plans and things like that in here. So it's not helpful, and they do not have them bookmarked. So I'm going to actually bookmark a few pages here. I'll go to the top. I'd actually mark this up a little bit. I don't know how to delete that. Like that. I was messing around with this is a new interface in Adobe for marking up. So anyway, if I come here to my bookmark tab, to add a bookmark is super simple. I just go to this plus add a new bookmark, and I can label it. So let's just say for us, maybe it would be, because we have spatial, structural, and control layers. I'm not saying you should call it that. I'm just, and then I say, key page or something, because this is, a key to actually this is table of contents. Or list of sheets, whatever, I don't care. Now that is a link to this page. So then if I go to the next page, and let me go to one that makes sense. So this is the level 1 life safety plan. If I add a link for that and I say level 1 life safety plan, now I've got links that I can go back and forth between these two. Then if I want to make let me make a new one. Let's say I wanted to make a section that was architectural as opposed to structural. So if I said A, or architectural plans, or whatever, I can pull these into it. All right, so now I've got a folder structure. So that's all I want you to do. I want it to be that I can go to each page easily, and that I have there's a title for it, so I know what it is. I'm doing this because you really need to start bookmarking your PDFs. So it's just a skill I'm trying to force you to learn right now, and it's so easy. And it's I talk a lot in class about how I'm always looking for a return on investment. This is something that takes once you've done, let's say you do 50 hours of work on a project, and you're making your PDF. This will take you an extra 5 minutes or 10 minutes to do, and then I would say it increases the value and the readability and the impression of your project by 100%. So in 10 minutes you've doubled the effectiveness of your project. That's totally a return on investment that you want to take advantage of. Okay, so that's the first thing. I wanted to show you how to bookmark PDFs. Done. Next, let's talk about Illustrator files. Here's just a random Illustrator file that I opened up. I'm going to go to Window and turn on Links. So we can see that in this file I have some linked images, and you will most certainly have those in something like this in your projects. Like if you are, well, whether or not you are doesn't really matter. I wanted to show you how to, what's the point here? So I said that I want you to turn in your final, this is in the deliverable instructions for the final portfolio. I want you not just to give me a multi-page PDF, bookmark PDF, but I want to have your Illustrator files or your whatever it is that you're laying this out in, so that if somebody wants to publish this, and if they decide to publish this, your project, in the Atmospheres book, that's the format they want it in. They want to be able to go to your original images and fonts. Because, for example, the way Illustrator works is that this image, unless I said put this image in the file, this is a link to an image in a folder on my computer. They do that to keep the size of the files smaller. Makes sense, right? Why would I put an image actually in this file that I already have on my computer? Why would I repeat it? Or if I had 50 versions of this little truck throughout a 20-page document, why would I repeat it over and over again? So this is a very common thing. You link fonts and images, and then when you print it, then it accesses them and puts them onto the PDF or whatever you're printing. However, if I then were to share this file with somebody else and send it to them, email them the Illustrator file, they're not going to have any of the images in the file, and so then when they open it up, you'll get a bunch of error messages and ask you to relink those files. And if you can't find them, if you do not have them to relink, it will just become blanks in the file. So the way we solve that is if you go to File, Package, very simple. If I say Package, I gotta save it. That's weird because I didn't change it. Let me just go ahead and I'll save it as something on my desktop. Okay, it's been saved. Whatever, it's okay. I don't know if you noticed when let me just go to that even. If I go to let me do this again. I guess it wasn't completely saved, so let me save it again. Um, you'll notice that actually I could include all the link files right here, and then that would make this, I don't actually know if that would turn this into a folder, or if that's just putting the file into the full resolution image into the file, and therefore making it just a much larger file. I think that's what it would. I think that is what it would do. I've never done it because it doesn't really make sense to do it that way. But this would be one way of sharing it. I do not want you to do it that way. That's not what we've been requested to give the people making atmospheres. I want you to go to File, Package. Oh God. Okay. I think it's saved. And then Package. So I am copying links, collecting links in a separate folder, copying fonts. So if I say now, I'm putting it in the same folder here. If I say package, okay. Now if I go to that folder, well, now it's asking me to show it, so I'm going to show it. If I go to desktop, here's the folder right here. And if I open it, I've got my links in here. So these are the images that are in that file. And I've also got, I guess it didn't add any fonts because I don't have any fonts in there. I have no text. And then what you would do is you would zip this. So if I right click on this, this is at least in Windows 11 on a PC, and I send to, I can just compress it as a zip folder. And now you see this zip folder is here. So this is what you would submit. And so if you don't know about zip folders, you should. That's another good thing to learn from this. I think most people do. If I click on it, you see it says extract all here, and there's a compressed size. So if I open this without extracting it, it's showing me that there's a certain amount of compression on each of these files. So in other words, you can't open them until you extract them, but it makes them smaller, so it's easier to share. It also makes it one file, so that it's a zip file. Sorry. Ambulance. So that you can submit it as a single file. Okay? Hopefully that's clear. Just to go over it again, you go to File, Package, and make sure all these are clicked. Hit Package, and it will save it as a folder with subfolders that have links and fonts in it. Okay, so we covered how to bookmark PDFs. We covered how to package Illustrator files. Finally, I wanted to talk, and this is actually because Anna, when I was talking to Group 4, Anna asked me if I would give her an example of good layouts, and I was like, no way, use your creativity. And then I realized, that wasn't the nicest way of doing that. And I told her, yeah, I've given you guys some files, and I just sort of threw it back at her. So I want to go into a little more detail here. Again, the central thing I'm saying is there is no right way of doing it. I want you that the layout of your project is a very good exercise for you always, so that you think about, okay, what makes the most sense, right? I'm going to start probably with that. Anything that has to do with the site plan, and all the environmental analysis. And then I'm probably going to go to floor plans and sections. What's the right order? What makes the most sense in terms of how many things on a page? I don't want to have just a big, I don't want to have a foundation plan on a whole page that has nothing on it, because you guys' foundation plans are pretty vacant. So you want to think in terms of how do I utilize the architecture of the sheets, but maybe not overcrowd them. How do I, if it's a detail, I need to make sure it's large enough so I can see the things that I want to communicate, etc. Right? But let's just look through John's plans this is for that Candela Lofts project that he showed us. We've got a front page that has an image. Makes sense. Here's the address of the project. Here's some site information. Here's the basic project data in terms of how large it is, the lot area. That all makes a lot of sense, right? Then we have the list of sheets that are coming. Um, here's some code information, and here's a title block on the right-hand side. So what I've said to you guys, first of all, is you're using 24 by 36 inch sheets, or actually I said D size, and that could be metric, ANSI, or it could be metric or IP. I don't care which one of those it is. You're just going to pick one in whatever software you're laying out with. But so it's 24 by 36 about, and then I want approximately, and then I want a title block, probably on the right hand side like this, for your project that would be repeated on every page. So you wouldn't have this exact page because you're not this is not a commercial project that you're doing, and we have a lot more site information. But maybe you would. You could just say, no, I'm going to actually try to just copy this page. That would not be stupid. You could do it that way, or I mean, essentially copy it. Then there's a bunch of pages that have sort of all the background information. Now we have nowhere near as much as this, but this to me is analogous to all of our site information, right? So my point here is that there's some places that there's lots of text talking about this is information for the contractor. It's talking about finishes here because that's a whatever. I'm not going to get into the details of why they're saying these different things. They have sewer calculations on this page. Here's some basic spec sheets. So I'm saying that this, and what is this page called? This is zoning information, sewer calculations, site lighting, railing details. Well, they kind of crammed a bunch of stuff together. You could do that also if this is sort of a grab bag of things that have to do with the site. And then eventually we get to so this is details for things at the site level, parking. Eventually we get to the actual plans of the building. So these are floor plans. Of course, ours are not as complex as professional floor plans. But then these they fill the whole page. That might be the way you want to do it if you have enough detail to make it worthwhile. If not, you would do it the first and second floor on one page. And then they chose in some situations to have a single elevation on a page. Others two elevations because they will fit because of the actually this is a section through an elevation. So my point is, if you look through these, this would be here's some building sections. I've been telling you to look through these plans all year. Then we got to some details. There's multiple details laid out on one page. There's going to be some drawings back here that show us where these details are. So it's just very similar to what we've been talking about. You have this simple set of plans that I gave you that's much more basic. So maybe not something to look at as much, but there's nothing wrong with it. These are clear. This is clear imagery. And then I gave you a bunch more plans last semester you could look at. If you want more plans from me, like I could give you these, I'm happy to share any plans that I have with you if you feel like you need more information. But I really think that John's are a good basic conceptual framework. But since we don't have ours are really these are construction documents, and ours are schematic really. We're at the level we're at design development, I would say. So we don't have as many dimensions. We don't have as much detail. So we might have a little bit. We might have more drawings on a single page, so that it's not so because we may not have enough information in each drawing to make it warrant something this size. All right. That is my attempt to help you with that layout thing. The layout aspect of this. I don't think there's a right or wrong. I just think you should look at it and say, does this make sense? Am I using the full architecture of the page? Is it clear? Is it laid out in a way that is consistent throughout? So, for example, I think that the 3 iterations ought to really probably have the same layouts. That they're basically exactly the same drawings, just with different construction. I mean, the same drawing types, and it's the same project. So I think that you take up the same amount of real estate on the page. So I think you could have a repeated pattern, a repeated layout for each of the 3 iterations. Okay, that's what I've got. Let me know if you have any questions, and I hope that helped.